Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jashodanandana Rajajana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivrajagacharya Ashto Tadasata Shri Srimad A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai ISKCON Samstapakacharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivrajagacharya Ashto Tadasata Shri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda Ki Jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Sakaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda Ki Jai Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gopinath Shama Radha Kundigiri Govardhan Ki Jai Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Navadip Dham Ki Jai Jagannath Puri Ki Jai Gangamai Ki Jai Jamanamai Ki Jai Tulsi Devi Ki Jai Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Samaveta Bhaktavrinda Ki Jai All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. Gaur Premanande. Do cell phone check, please. Cell phones should be silent. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Srimad Bhagavatam 8, 8, 10, and 11. Tasya asanamanindye mahendro mahadadbhutam murtamatya sarichreshta hema kumpayar janam shuchi. The king of heaven, Indra, brought a suitable sitting place for the goddess of fortune. All the rivers of sacred water, such as the Ganges and Jamuna, personified themselves, and each of them brought pure water in golden water pots for Mother Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune. Abhishechanika Bhumir Aharat Sakaloshatihi Gavaha Pancha Pavitrani Vasanto Madhu Madhava Abhishechanika Bhumir Aharat Sakaloshatihi Gava Pancha Pavitrani Pasanto Madhu Madhava Abhishechanika Bhumir Aharat Sakaloshati Gava Pancha Pavitrani Vasanto Madhu Madhava Abhishechanika Bhumir Aharat Sakaloshati Gava Pancha Pavitrani Vasanto Madhu Madhava Abhishechanika Bhumir Aharat Sakaloshati Gava Pancha Pavitrani Vasanto Madhu Madhava Abhishechanika Bhumir Aharat Sakaloshati Gava Pancha Pavitrani Vasanto Madhu Madhava. Ladies. Abhishechanika Bhumir Aharat Sakaloshati Gava Pancha Pavitrani Vasanto Madhu Madhava Abhishechanika Bhumir Aharat Sakaloshati Gava Pancha Pavitrani Vasanto Madhu Madhava Abhishechanika Bhumir Aharat Sakaloshati Gava Pancha Pavitrani Vasanto Madhu Madhava Abhishechanika. Paraphernalia required for installing the deity. Bhumihi, the land. Aharat, collected. Sakala, all kinds of. Aushadhihi, drugs and herbs. Gavaha, the cows. Pancha, 5 different varieties of products from the cow, namely milk, yogurt, clarified butter, cow dung, and cow urine. Pavitrani, uncontaminated. Vasantaha, personified springtime. Madhu Madhava, flowers and fruits produced during spring or in the months of Chaitra and Vaishakha. The land became a person and collected all the drugs and herbs needed for installing the deity. The cows delivered 5 products, namely milk, yogurt, ghee, urine, and cow dung. And spring personified collected everything produced in spring during the months of Chaitra and Vaishakha, April and May. Purport. Panchagavya, the 5 products received from the cow, namely milk, yogurt, ghee, cow dung, and cow urine, are required in all ritualistic ceremonies performed according to the Vedic directions. Cow urine and cow dung are uncontaminated, and since even the urine and dung of a cow are important, we can just imagine how important this animal is for human civilization. Therefore, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, directly advocates Go-Raksha, the protection of cows. Civilized men who follow the system of Varnashram, especially those of the Vaishya class who engage in agriculture and trade, must give protection to the cows. Unfortunately, because people in Kali Yuga are manda, all bad, and sumandamatayaha, misled by false conceptions of life, they're killing cows in the thousands. Therefore, they are unfortunate in spiritual consciousness, and nature disturbs them in so many ways, especially through incurable diseases like cancer and through frequent wars and among nations. Frequent wars among nations. As long as human society continues to allow cows to be regularly killed in slaughterhouses, there cannot be any question of peace and prosperity. Om Jnana-timirantasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupakada Mahyam Tathati Shapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Jata Padakamalang Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Shagrajatam Shahagana Raganatan Vitam Stam Sajivam Shadvaitam Shavadhutam Pradijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Shahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kamshana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kolpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhobhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vashadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Obeisances to all the devotees I hope by your blessings we can say something bona fide. Tasya asanam ananye mahendro mahadadbhutam murti matya sarich treshta hema kumbhayar jalam shuchi abhishechanika bhumi aharat shakalo shadhi gava pancha pavitrani vasanto madhumadavo. All of these deities or manifestations of Krishna's energy cooperated together to offer worship to Lakshmiji, the eternal consort of the personality of Godhead. Lakshmi is sometimes conceived as the eternal consort of the Lord, and sometimes conceived of simply as money, as wealth. We need some Lakshmi. But both Lakshmis are meant to be eternally engaged in the service of the Lord. Here, Indra is worshipping Lakshmi, Ganga, Jamuna are worshipping her. And the earth, Bhumi, and Gava, Pancha Pavitrani, the cows were worshipping Lakshmi with 5 different kinds of products. The cow is the essential animal in Vedic civilization, and the protection of cows is the special responsibility of the Vaishyas. Yata pravitir bhutanam yena sarvamidam tatam swakarmana tam abhyarcha siddhim vindati manava. Every human being can become perfect by performing prescribed duties for the satisfaction of the personality of Godhead. The duties may differ. The Brahmins have one duty, the Kshatriyas different duty. For the Vaishyas, Krishi Go Raksha Vanijam. Go Raksha means protection of the cows. For the Kshatriyas, protection especially of all the citizens, the human beings particularly. They should be more difficult to protect. They have to be protected from one another. So that's the duty of the king, although he also has the duty of protecting all the citizens, every living being in his kingdom. But particularly, the Vaishyas have the responsibility of protecting the cows. It's famous that when Srila Prabhupada was hearing a reading of Bhagavad Gita as it is, this verse was translated that the duty of the Vaishyas is cattle raising. And Prabhupada said, not cattle raising. Raksha means protection, cow protection. The materialistic society is very much engaged in cattle raising. That means exploiting thousands or millions of cows simply as vehicles for profit, as economic units, and doing anything and everything abominable simply for their sense gratification. Pravrittim cha nivrittim cha jana na vidurashura nashocham api cha charo napi cha charo asatyam teshu vidyate. The demons have no idea what they should do and what they should not do. Nashocham, they're engaged in all dirty business. Nashocham, there's nothing clean about their work. Here the cows. The cows are clean. These demons are filthy. Nashocham napi chacharo. There's nothing clean in their activities, and they don't know how to properly act, how to properly behave. Because kamopabhoga paramai tavaditi nishchita. Their vision is that the ultimate goal of life is sense gratification. And therefore, for their sense gratification, there's nothing that they won't do. Prabhupada said this one time, and then he repeated it. There's nothing that they won't do. And we could start exploring all the things that they do that are abominable. But it would fill many, many classes and not be pleasant to hear. But there's nothing that they won't do for sense gratification, because that's the goal. Just like a devotee, there's nothing that he won't do for Krishna. He'll sacrifice everything for the satisfaction of Krishna. And the demons for their sense gratification. Of course, Krishna doesn't ask us to do all abominable, nasty things. Sing, dance, chant Hare Krishna, distribute spiritual knowledge, distribute prasadam. But for sense gratification, all nasty things. Gambling, intoxicants, meat eating, illicit sex. In all varieties that they can think of. Everything becomes monetized. Everything is for profit. Therefore, when we read in Srimad Bhagavatam that at the end of Kali Yuga, people will be eating one another. We think, how is it possible? It's possible. You just have to start rationalizing and have no other business than your own self-aggrandizement, your own sense gratification. Then anything is possible. I've been thinking in the last few days about subjects and objects. This terminology is not used that very much by Srila Prabhupada, but Srila B.R. Sridhar Maharaj used to use these terms. But Prabhupada said the same thing in different words. When we think of ourselves as subjects, we are the enjoyer and everything else is an object for our sense gratification. This money is an object for sense gratification. Lakshmi is something for my sense gratification. All women are objects for sense gratification. My guru is a provider of sense gratification. Everything is for sense gratification. Religious activities are for sense gratification. Family life is for sense gratification. Sannyas is for sense gratification. Everything is for sense gratification. It's all about me. I'm the subject, the person who takes in all kinds of sensory information and uses his senses to manipulate things in such a way that I can enjoy. I'm the subject, and everything else is the object. But in Krishna consciousness, Krishna is the subject. He's the enjoyer. Aham hi sarvayagyanam bhokta cha prabhureva cha. He's the enjoyer of everything. What is that? Yagyatapasam sarvaloka mahesham. Bhoktaram yagyatapasam. He's the enjoyer. He's the subject. And we're all the objects. Not that I'm the subject, you're the object. We're all objects for Krishna's sense gratification, Krishna's enjoyment. Then how do we provide enjoyment for Krishna? Varnashrama charabhata purushena para puman vishnu aradyate panta nanyatato shakara. We perform our prescribed duties for his satisfaction. There may be other things, but first thing is prescribed duties. The postgraduate Paramhansa devotees throw away prescribed duties or do whatever they need to do for Krishna's enjoyment. But we can't imitate. We have to perform our prescribed duties. So for the Vaishyas, the prescribed duty is krishi, agriculture, using the land to produce food according to Krishna's arrangement. And Krishna has such a wonderful arrangement that there's land and it grows stuff. It's not concrete. Krishna could have covered the world with concrete, but he covered it with earth, arranged for seeds and water and sunshine, and you put it all together and you add some work and you get all sorts of wonderful kinds of things that human beings can live on. Grains, fruits, vegetables. So Krishi, the agriculturists, the Vaishyas, their main duty is to produce food, because that's what human society lives on. Not plastic things, food. Krishi, then Goraksha, protecting the cows. The cows should be cared for. The cows should be engaged. The bulls should be engaged in work. The cows should be happy, and their milk should be offered to Krishna and to everyone else. In the time of Maharaj Yudhisthira, Srila Prabhupada used to like to quote that the pasturing grounds were muddy with milk, because the cows were happy. They were giving. That cow is there in Spain, in our farm. It's like a magic cow. It's just giving. It's had a calf like so long ago no one even remembers, and still the cow is giving milk because she's happy. Because she's happy. So this is the business of the Vaishyas, to protect the cows, to see that the cows are happy, and then all of these wonderful things will be provided. Milk, yogurt, ghee, sandesh, rasgulla, and so on and so on. And even the cow dung and cow urine are useful. So the cows were offering these products for the, of course the earth was offering was arranging for the elements for Abhishek, and for the Abhishek these Panchagavya is also required. Cow urine, cow dung, yogurt, ghee, everything. And Vasanto Madhumadhavo, the spring season, provided all of its products. Everyone likes spring. In spring, everything is available so pleasantly. So all of these. All of these were engaged in the devotional service of Lakshmiji, with the understanding that she's the consort of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu. All right, we'll stop and see what kind of questions there are, or comments. Incurable diseases, Prabhupada mentions. Yes. Yeah. People, they think cause and effect is, they're looking for the particular microorganism or the particular virus that causes this or that disease. And maybe they find it. They're familiar with the law of cause and effect. So this virus causes this disease, that virus causes that disease. They've got it down. But they don't know what's in the background. They don't have a larger picture of cause and effect, because their mental speculative methods or their empiric research is not going to show them that. If they look under their microscope, they're not going to see that, oh, this person got cancer because of these sinful activities. They'll only see within a limited scope. Pashanti jnana chakshusha. But a person with eyes of knowledge sees the larger picture. Even if you find the cure for this or that incurable disease, the next incurable disease comes. It doesn't stop. And it can't stop. Janma mrityu jara vyadi dukkha doshana darshanam. It's the nature of this material world. These miseries will always be there, but they don't have to be so viciously and persistently troublesome. They must be troublesome, but in Kali Yuga they're, as they say, over the top, excessive. Because the more sinful, the more suffering. Prabhupada gave the example, I heard, that during part of his time, our American president was Lyndon B. Johnson. And he was from Texas, and he was a cattle rancher. And when he was elected, actually, he had a very ambitious program for social upliftment. He wanted to be like some of our former illustrious presidents who were remembered historically for their programs of public welfare. I think I forget what he called it. He had a name for what he wanted, the Great Society. So he wanted the Great Society. Now we have someone else who wants to make America great again. But anyway, they're always dreaming. So he wanted to do something, but instead he got the Vietnam War. And so many Americans were sent to the jungle to be killed. And he became an object of public scorn, and people used to camp outside the White House. Hey, hey, LBJ, how many kids did you kill today? And Prabhupada said, because of cow killing. That you're killing cows on your ranch, and therefore so many of your men and women have to be sent to the jungle to be killed. An ordinary person said, well, how do you see? How do you know? Where's the causal relationship? Causal relationship is from Shastra. Pashanti jnana chakshusha. Something else?
How do we achieve balance? Hare Krishna. How do we achieve balance in our society between concrete and agriculture when profit is the driving force?
How do we achieve balance between concrete and agriculture when profit is the driving force? Well, when profit is the driving force, you won't achieve balance between concrete and agriculture. Our driving force is not profit. It is profit, but it's the ultimate profit to satisfy Radha Madhava, to satisfy Krishna and the Acharyas. That's our real profit. But if we're looking toward immediate profit, then that profit motive will be problematic. Naturally, some profit motive is there. Vaishya is, by nature, profit-minded. That's why he's a Vaishya. He's thinking of the balance sheet. But everything has to be regulated. Kshatriyas, they like to get into fights and kill and all of that. But there's regulate. You have to do it this way. You can't do, even if a man doesn't have a chariot, you can't be on a chariot. So there's regulations. There can be fighting, all right, but not willy-nilly. And it has to be according to Dharma. So profit is also allowed, but that has to be regulated. When the state becomes just for profit, Everything's ruined. That's your modern capitalist countries. What's their problem? Their problem is that they're essentially big industries. And the success of my country is how much money is flowing through the system and being distributed to important people. When you look at the Rajarshis, the standard is how everyone is spiritually advancing, how the citizens are happy, how they're making spiritual advancement, how they're achieving liberation from material existence, how everything is running according to dharmic principles. That's the standard of the Kshatriya. He's guided by the Brahmins. The Brahmins give the spiritual vision, so the whole society is directed toward spiritual progress. And the material side is properly developed to support spiritual progress. But when the Vaishyas take charge, everything's monetized, everything's for profit. Anything nasty can be done if it brings in cash. So this balance, Prabhupada talks about that as one of the purposes of ISKCON, to bring about proper balance in human values. So for that balance, Krishna consciousness has to be in the forefront. And the profit motive has to be kept in check. Profit motive will be there, just like lust will be there. So we don't even say no lust. You can't pass the law. GBC, I don't think they passed a law this year. No lust allowed in ISKCON. Lust will be there. But dharma viruddha bhuteshu kamosmi. Krishna says, all right, lust is okay. As long as it's channeled within the principles of dharma, lust can also be accommodated. So profit can also be accommodated. We don't say no profit for anyone. But it needs to be properly regulated. It has to be profit from legitimate activities, not from embezzlement, not from stealing, not from cheating, not from massive schemes of exploitation. Legitimate. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's devotees, there were so many householders, and they were doing business, and they were making a profit, but from legitimate activities. Even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he, in one way, criticized that Gopinath Patanayaka because he was stealing from the government. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the government has found him out, he's going to be killed. Don't talk to me about it. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur comments that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to teach that his followers should be honest in their occupation. Yes?
Maharaj, very nice class. I have two questions. The first one is the 5 elements which we get from cow. How does it help us spiritually?
How does it?
Each element, the milk, the yogurt, the ghee, the urine and the dung, if you could explain each element, how it enhances our spiritual progress. The second question is...
the second question comes
okay.
After, otherwise I'll forget the first.
Okay.
This is Kali Yuga, remember. I don't think I can explain each one. Milk is obvious. Prabhupada said it creates finer tissues for spiritual advancement. The ghee, of course, is used in fire sacrifices. It's an essential ingredient. How each one exactly, I can't tell you. But they're all offered for the satisfaction of Krishna. Krishna likes them, that's all.
Can I ask a second question? Maharaj, as Prabhu was mentioning about the profitability, I have seen in Ireland particularly, I have some few friends, they have large hectares of land. And there are two types of ways that you can raise cows. One is that you have milking cows and the other is for slaughtering. So nowadays the trend is towards raising cows, and then the baby cows, they sell it at 500 euro because it is not viable to raise them and produce milking cows. So the question is viability, and I've been trying to share how sinful it is to kill and raise cows to killing or slaughtering. Could you share something which I can share with my friends in Ireland?
Well, if you want viability, that requires a proper economic analysis, really, which is beyond my scope. If you wanted to tell your friends, see, here's how raising cows is profitable, then you should get together with people who actually know that. We know the basic principle. They're giving milk. Milk is so valuable. But then to be profitable in the ordinary sense, particularly in the Western countries where land is so expensive and everything is so expensive, then you have to see how everything should be properly done, how much you have to charge for your viable milk. It may not be the same as what's usually thought of as market value. But even those who are intelligent, there's some people, they've made a huge business just out of cow dung. You know, what's the economic for a person who's smart? A person who's smart, he'll make money out of anything. They'll market rocks. But cow dung is valuable. So, again, the analysis is beyond my capability, but for thousands and thousands of years. And also, this is a consideration. Cows are not actually just economic units that you breed for massive profitability. That's not the actual picture. Vedic civilization is that you have everything. You have some land, you have some cows, you have some grains. Not that you just multiply everything, grab as much land as you can, breed as many cows as you can. Everything becomes more. That can't be sustained. And that's not what life is meant for more profit, at the expense of others. Grab their land. Now they want to do it with water. Not want to, they're doing it. Water rights have become exceedingly important. They're strategic assets, and wars are being and will be fought increasingly over water. My water. No, it's my water. No, it's my water. And the my is not going to be the people who live here or the people who live there. It's going to be the corporations who can use it for some industrial or commercial purpose. It's our water. We paid for it. And our country stands behind us, and they're going to bomb the hell out of you if you don't honor our rights. Water is not meant for that. Cows are not meant for that. Land is not meant for that. Nothing is meant for that kind of exploitive use. Live simply and arrange things in such a way that you get a reasonable profit and be happy. Not more. And happy means Krishna conscious. Otherwise you'll never be happy no matter how much more you get. You'll be more and more miserable in this life and the next. Chant Hare Krishna and be happy. That was Prabhupada's formula. Another question. Narad Rishi Ji.
This is Prabhupada's challenge to the world. Prabhupada says, milk is nothing else but the transformation of the blood. So why blood? Why not milk? This is what Prabhupada says to the world.
Yes, very good. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah. You're doing well, go ahead.
In the 16th chapter we know, and other places Prabhupada invokes a connection between cruelty to animals and an imminent world war. Is there any way we can avert it, or?
Yeah, sure. If the result is if the cause is A and the result is B and you don't like B, stop A. Very simple. If you don't want cruelty and suffering, then stop your sinful activities. But how will you stop your sinful activities? That requires Krishna consciousness. Therefore our preaching is not, we're against drugs, we're against illicit sex, we're in favor of peace and love and free this and free that. That's not our business. Our business is Krishna consciousness. If there's Krishna consciousness, then people will give up illicit sex, they'll give up gambling, they'll give up intoxicants, they'll give up meat eating. We're not the vegetarian society. We're on a campaign to stop cruelty to animals, to bring about no, none of that. That's not our business. Take Krishna consciousness, everything else is included in the package. Otherwise, if you wanted to go at it piecemeal, join the vegetarian society, join the 12-step program, you know, give your money to that, give your money to fight alcoholism and to fight drugs and to fight this and to fight that and to find a cure for cancer and find a cure for HIV syndromes and a cure for this and a cure for that. And, you know, do everything piecemeal. Prabhupada explained there are two methods, the goldsmith's method and the blacksmith's method. Goldsmith has a little hammer. Tick, 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 tick. Tick, 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 tick. Tick, 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 tick. And the blacksmith has a big hammer. Wham! Prabhupada said, our method is the blacksmith's method. One stroke, Krishna consciousness, and everything else will come. And without Krishna consciousness, everything else will fail. If it fails, and if it succeeds, it fails also. Because life without spiritual realization is a failure. We have America such a success, it has such money, such an army, such great cities, and it's all a failure because people don't have spiritual realization and therefore they're miserable. So success or failure without Krishna consciousness, it will all be failure. And even in failure, Krishna conscious life will be a success. Prabhupada is the example, his business failed. But because of Krishna consciousness, just see, Prabhupada even calculated, I started with this many rupees and now it's this much. So if you're really interested in profit, follow Prabhupada. You'll get the ultimate profit. Something else. Yes. Oh, okay. Wherever it goes.
Hare Krishna. Maharaj, could you say which is a better way for Vaishyas to protect the cows nowadays? I mean, is it enough to get your own piece of land and get some cows and make them happy? Or Vaishya should do more intense methods like go to these people who are slaughtering cows and...
Whoa. A little slower.
This is not for Vaishyas.
What should the Vaishyas do? Now, either they should get a little land and protect cows, or what was the other?
The other, maybe Vaishya also should go to these people who are slaughtering cows and explain them this is not right and something like this.
Oh, or should they raise cows, or should they go to the people who are slaughtering cows and say this is not right? Yeah, go to the people who are slaughtering cows and say this is not right. Then go to the nightclubs and say, oh, actually this is not very good. Then go to the brothels and say, not good. That's useless. Raso varjam rasopyasya param drishtva nivartate. You have to give them something superior. Our business is to spread Krishna consciousness. And when there's Krishna consciousness, then there'll be cow protection, then there'll be honesty, then there'll be everything. Sarva, what is Kama Duga Mahi in Yudhisthira Maharaj's time? Everything. Even the earth was, of course, the Prithu Maharaj threatened the earth. You're not giving. And the earth said, the people are sinful. Why should I give? But when people are Krishna conscious, then the earth will give more. Everything will be provided. And for those who don't cooperate, the citizens will demand, you close this place or we'll kill you. Really. They'll drive you out. We won't allow this in our town. We will not allow this in our county. We will not allow this in our state. We will not allow this in our country. All right, we won't kill you. Go to Antarctica. If there's sufficient Krishna consciousness, people won't stand for it. No, you can't have this. A small thing. We have our temple in a little suburb of Los Angeles, and some newspaper vendors set up some little machines there for selling newspapers, like the Los Angeles Times and some like job classified ads and stuff like that, and one or two porn dispensers. So it's business, it's profit, but because they were setting up near our temple, first the glass for showing the magazines wound up with a lot of spray paint on it. Then they did something about that, and finally the place where you put the coins got gummed up with some sort of strong stuff so that nobody could put money in. And finally they went away, they gave up. Yes. Maybe there's a switch you have to switch on the bottom, maybe.
Hare Krishna.
There you go.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. This is a very good class you have given Nectarian.
Slower and speak right into the microphone unhygienically.
Hare
Just
Krishna.
go right into it.
Can you hear now?
Yes.
Thank you. Maharaj, this is a very wonderful class you have given. First of all, great thankful from my heart. Like, this is the urgent need which I am experiencing in the ISKCON community in context with the today's verse. That one is the deity worship for the standardist. So Panchagavya is very essential need, as it was mentioned. And second, the devotees' health. Approximate more than 50 to 60% in every temple, the devotees' health are not up to the mark.
50 or 60% what?
Health is not good of the devotees.
Health is not good.
Because of the unhealthy food, we can say, the cow products, which is the essence of this today's verse. So, and Srila Prabhupada explained I did 50% and 50% of the tasks remain balanced over Varnashram. And for deity worship, Srila Prabhupada explained we should offer best thing to the deities. So in all this, if we connect, so in the last ILS, we have presented something which I would like to highlight the attention of all the devotees here. That can be how we can do the deity worship and cow products, bring it in our day-to-day life.
How we can
bring the cow's blessings in day-to-day life.
Well, take care of them and you'll get blessings. Prabhupada actually, our standard is not what Prabhupada wanted in so many ways. For example, Prabhupada wanted that for cooking for the deities, we should grind our own spices. How many temples do you go to where the turmeric is not purchased in little bottles of ground turmeric? Or where all the spices are just not purchased at the store like that. Prabhupada said when we get the spices, we should get the whole spices and grind them ourselves for the deity. That's the standard that Prabhupada wanted. And for convenience or budget considerations, we don't do it, or just out of laziness, or because we don't know, no one ever told us. But that's a standard. So Prabhupada wanted also that we should take care of cows, and then the milk products should supply our temples. That's the real standard. We know that we're providing for our deities milk which is gotten from cows that are treated in the most horrendous ways. So Prabhupada accepted that milk. He offered it to Krishna. But the standard that he wanted was that we should have our own cows, and then we should supply all of these milk products for our temples.
Yes, Maharaj, this is what project we have presented during the ILS 2025.
Okay, so this is an advertisement. Where can people find out about your program?
No, this is like for deity worship. This for the benefit of all devotees. This I am sharing and seeking for the blessings, so that something can be done in the service of Srila Prabhupada.
Okay, so the bottom line is you're looking for blessings.
Yes.
Okay, blessings? Okay, another question.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Last question, because we're
Yes.
just out of time. Yes.
It's just the responsibility of the Vaishyas to take care of the cows, or all the Varnas?
Excuse me?
It's
Should
just
all the
Vaishyas.
Varnas take care of the cows, or just the Vaishyas?
And we are not clear about our Varnas, most of us. So
Most
how
of
we-
us are not clear about our Varnas.
Yes.
Right. And a lot of us are not clear about our ashrams either. The Vaishyas are especially charged with protecting cows. The Brahmins generally also, we find that there's a hermitage and the sages are keeping some cows, not as a profitable business, but they're keeping the cows, one or two cows, whatever, and they're getting their own needs, not for business, but providing their necessities for living and for worship. The Kshatriyas, they're engaging the Vaishyas. That's their main importance. Not that the Kshatriyas should be very much engaged in raising cows, but they should see that the cows are being protected by the Vaishyas. And the Shudras should help the Vaishyas in cow protection. Simple. That was the last question. One more? Okay, one more. Loud, you don't have the microphone yet. Just loud. In previous days, acharyas did what? Did miracles.
Such as an example that to say Bali Maharaj brought back to his life by Sukracharya, who is the spiritual master of the Bali Maharaj.
First of all, you have to speak into the microphone. Just holding it for decoration doesn't work.
Okay, Prabhu. I mean to say that, Prabhuji, in previous ages, miracles are made happen by the acharyas, but in this modern age, I'm not getting any miracles such as...
Then you're not seeing, your eyes are shut. Otherwise, everyone whose eyes are open will see that Prabhupada came to New York City with nothing in his pocket, and now Krishna consciousness is spread all over the world, and they're building a multi-million-dollar temple right behind your back. So just turn around and you'll see everything.
Mani, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, all glories to Srila Prabhupada.